The historical context: colonialism and local resistance. In the early 19th century, Bengal was undergoing a period of significant social, economic, and political change. The British East India Company had consolidated control over much of India through a combination of military force, diplomacy, and economic exploitation. In Bengal, the company imposed heavy taxes on local farmers, seized control of vast lands through the Permanent Settlement Act, and introduced legal and social reforms that were often perceived as disruptive to traditional ways of life. These changes caused widespread discontent among various sections of the population, particularly the Muslim peasants, who were disproportionately affected by the new tax policies and land arrangements. Along with economic hardship, there was growing resentment toward the British for their perceived interference in religious and cultural practices. The peasants saw their livelihoods being destroyed by an exploitative regime that favoured wealthy landowners and zamindars who collaborated with the British. Titular's rebellion was, in many ways, a response to this complex web of grievances. His call for resistance resonated with the masses, who were already suffering under the burden of colonial rule. The fort he built from bamboo would become the focal point of this resistance, a symbol of defiance and unity against the forces of imperialism. The construction of the bamboo fort: ingenious simplicity. At first glance, the idea of a bamboo fort may seem almost whimsical. Bamboo, after all, is not typically associated with strong military fortifications. However, Titular and his followers used the material in a highly strategic and symbolic manner. The bamboo fort they constructed at Farkleberries, near Baristad in Bengal, was a testament to the resourcefulness of a people who have few material resources, but plenty of ingenuity and determination. The choice of bamboo was significant for several reasons. First, bamboo was abundant in the region, making it a readily available and affordable material for construction. Its flexibility and strength made it suitable for building a sturdy defensive structure that could withstand attacks from British forces. Second, the use of bamboo was deeply rooted in the local culture and traditions of Bengal. It symbolized a connection to the land, the people, and their way of life. A stark contrast to the imposing stone and brick fortifications favoured by colonial powers. But the bamboo fort was not just a physical structure. It was a symbol of the rebellion itself. The very fact that Titular had chosen such an unconventional material for his fort reflected the nature of his movement: resourceful, rooted in the local context, and resistant to the impositions of foreign rule. It represented the idea that the power of the people, when united and organized, could stand against even the most formidable of enemies. Inside the fort, a hub of revolutionary activity. The bamboo fort was not only a defensive structure, it was also the headquarters of Titular's rebellion. Inside its walls, Titular and his followers planned their strategies, trained their fighters, and coordinated their resistance efforts. The fort became a hub of revolutionary activity, where people from various walks of life, farmers, artisans, and religious scholars, came together in a common cause. Titular's leadership was instrumental in bringing together this diverse group of people. He was not just a military leader, but also a spiritual and moral guide for his followers. His teachings, influenced by the Wahhabi movement, emphasized the importance of purity in faith and the need for resistance against those who oppressed the faithful. This combination of religious and political leadership gave Titular's movement a unique character, one that resonated deeply with the people of Bengal. The fort thus became a place where the ideals of the rebellion were nurtured and put into practice. It was not just a physical stronghold, but also a space where a new vision for Bengal could take shape, a vision of a society based on equality, justice, and self-determination. This combination of guerrilla warfare and local support allowed Titumir's forces to hold out against the British for an extended period, despite being heavily outnumbered and outgunned. The fort itself became a symbol of this defiance, a place where the power of the people was harnessed to challenge the might of the British Empire. The siege and fall of the bamboo fort. A tragic end. Despite the strength of the bamboo fort and the determination of Titumur's forces, the rebellion eventually came to a tragic end. In November 1831, the British East India Company launched a full-scale assault on